absolutely on it.
Well, given how aggressive that the number 89 E-Type has been early in the race, I think we probably can't really complain, but it shows you how much they really want to win this race. And SHEDDEN gets alongside of the run before Lord. He's not going to get past there, and he has to back out of it. And yes, this this teenager in the Cobra is giving the double British Touring Car champions and triple British Touring Car champions something to think about.
Giving him plenty to think about.
The curve. Oh.
Who's going to slip up next? Are they going to be tripped up? The Rory Henderson, Darren Turner Cobra just at the bottom of the screen, big screens there. White with the black roof will be their next prey, the next car they're looking to pick off. But I must say their lap pace is still holding up pretty well despite this grappling. But the other cars behind, notably Ollie Bryant in the 21 Cobra, is able to lap without having to fight anyone now. Now that he's got clear in third place, he will start to close. 19 minutes remaining. SHEDDEN going on one side, no cars ahead of him that he's fighting because the car's behind. But Oliver Hart, I keep calling him his father's name, Oliver Hart tried the outside line, but he had to be so sideways to get that to work. You can see the white Cobra just up ahead. That might get in their way at the chicane, not too badly though.
Well, they've swapped every lap for the last 3 laps, haven't they? Somewhere around the track, but this time I think SHEDDEN has got himself a decent gap as he goes down towards Madgewick, and this will be the part of the should be the part of the lap where the E-Type, its high-speed balance, gives it a little bit of the edge, so he should be able to get without out of lunging range.
25.799, still the best time in the race for the lead car.
Well, I'm keeping an eye on the sky. It's still grey, but the clouds keep on moving through. We may be lucky, just over a quarter of an hour in this race, and maybe the Royal Automobile Club Tourist Trophy celebration will get to the end without problems there. One wheel in the air from the Cobra. Oliver Hart is throwing everything bar the kitchen sink.
And it's steaming again.
At SHEDDEN, is he? All right, let's have a look underneath.
Can't fault him for trying, can you, Bruce? It's just he absolutely will not be beaten. He's trying so hard to stay with SHEDDEN in a car that generally seems to be quicker over a stint, but he's hanging on in there, and if he gets half a chance in traffic, the Cobra will be back ahead again.
The Lister Coupe is coming back at the order. Patrick Blakeney-Edwards catching Alain Decadney and number 5 Cobra. Hand over fist for 6th place. Here come the leaders, though. They go through for the 29th time.
Cobra on the second row with a Corvette Stingray, and the engine notes are rising. It's a 1-hour race and it's underway, and Derek Bell makes a fantastic start. Nigel Corner is slower away, and one of the Cobras has been stranded right at the back. But as the cars go down to Madgewick for the first time, no number of laps in this race. It's 1 hour with driver changes. They'll all be making pit stops to hand over to their co-drivers, just like they would at Le Mans. But on a drying road, there is a Daytona Cobra challenging Derek Bell for the lead. It's Jochen Neerpasch, a great sports car driver of a few years ago, who has gone straight into the lead. Neerpasch leads in the Daytona Cobra. Derek Bell is second in the 330 LMB Ferrari. It's Nigel Corner third in the silver E-Type. Up into 4th place comes the Stingray, a Beverage Martini, which Jochen Mass will drive later in the race, and Gregor Fiskin is coming through into 3rd place in the red E-Type Jaguar. And the pressure really on. This is an hour-long race. It's the longest race of the weekend, but just as always seemed to happen at Le Mans, they're going hard and fast right from the beginning. The second group being led by one of the Aston Martins, but here's the battle for the lead. A Daytona Cobra, big V8 American engine, lightweight aluminium body, which means it's more streamlined than the standard Cobra, has the lead. That's Jochen Neerpasch. Derek Bell in 2nd place, Nigel Corner in 3rd place in the E-Type Jaguar, and their Corvette Stingray, which was raced at Le Mans in 1967, hanging on as they come through the chicane for the first time, and blast on down the start-finish straight to complete their first lap. And look at that traffic jam coming through the chicane. If you saw a glimpse of a pale green, lime green almost, Ferrari GTO, that was Sterling Moss wearing number 7. It's a car that raced originally in that curious lime green colour for a Ferrari because it was sponsored by the UDT Naystall team. But it is the Cobra in the lead with it's Jochen Neerpasch in the lead, and we're told that Jochen Mass is, in fact, in that Corvette. I must say I was astonished to see that its owner, the usually very quick, but not that quick. German amateur who owns the car was going so hard from the beginning. It is Jochen Mass who's in the car. Derek Bell in second place, number 24 in the Ferrari. Nigel Corner in that lovely lightweight all-aluminium E-Type in third place. And Jochen Mass it is in that red, white and blue Corvette Stingray, who is menacingly hanging on to Nigel Corner in fourth place. A wonderful looking machine. And this is a race which one feels could easily just run for 5 or 10 laps because they're all absolutely on the limit. It's going to run for an hour, and every car has 2 drivers. They have to stop. They're not allowed to stop and change drivers before the first 10 minutes is over, and they must stop before the last 10 minutes of the race. So effectively it is like a little Le Mans, and still, as Jackie Stewart watches the race, still it is the Daytona Cobra of Jochen Meerpasch, a great driver of sports cars in the 60s and 70s, and Jochen Mass is going past Nigel Corner. Jochen Mass takes third place in that Cobra, in that Corvette Stingray, I should say. So we have, and a spin there. That is Hartmut Eibing in the GTO Ferrari that he's going to share with David Piper. He has already spun to demonstrate that the circuit is already very slippery. But it's a long race, and it's pretty much, in modern historic racing terms, an endurance race, and we wonder how long Jochen Meerpasch can stave off the determined Derek Bell, the man who won Le Mans 5 times. And Jochen Mass hanging on. Nigel Corner coming back on the outside of Jochen Mass. Nigel Corner trying to get back alongside the Corvette Stingray. Can't do it. And Derek Bell is back in the lead. Derek Bell leads. Battles going on all the time. If they're going to keep this up for an hour, then it's all going to be down to the pit stops, just like modern Formula 1. Nigel Corner in the silver E-Type at the back of that quartet. And now Jochen Meerpasch trying to fight back. Jochen Meerpasch on the brakes very, very late. He's absolutely alongside Derek Bell. The car's wheezing up the braking. But that has allowed Jochen Mass to come through into second place. Jochen Mass tried an overtaking manoeuvre. It didn't work as they came out of Woodcote. And Jochen Mass is up to second place. A magnificent 4-car battle. Jochen Mass up to second. Jochen Meerpasch charges alongside again, and they're side by side as they go down to Madgwick to start their 4th lap.
Jag of Chris Ward. He's been eaten up by the, let's go, 250LM down the side on the grass. That's the Gary Pearson car muscling back onto the track. But it was the Cobras, and the Bizzarini has gone late. The number 11 Bizzarini, which is way down the order now. And that's the one of Andrew Hall, but it's Cobras, it's Hart who leads, isn't it, from Wolf. And behind Wolf, it's Andrew Smith riding on board here. Behind with Matt Neal behind the Lister Coupe, and a fixed head Coupe Jaguar up ahead as well, down towards St Mary's. Bruce, what do you see out there?
Well, what I can see is clear gap between David Hart. That brilliant start from the outside, the front row in the number 1 Cobra, but equally good start from the red and gold Cobra coming through in the hands of Smith. And the real loser was the pole man. That was a disastrous start for Chris Ward. Didn't have the grunt of the Cobras and has been subsumed, knocked back into the pack. But David Hart making his break. There's Ward back in 3rd place. But it's Hart, Wolf and Smith at the front. What's going to change further down the order? And of course, keep an eye out on that short wheelbase number 6 Ferrari. Doesn't have the legs, the cars at the front, but it will be coming up.
Ward has already got back to 4th. He got ahead of the TBR somewhere near you, Bruce. He's attacking the 3rd place Cobra really close to it as they come into the chicane. He'll be annoyed with himself for such a poor start. And he's got to find a way past 3 Cobras, which will be very quick. And he's almost on the grass coming out the chicane. So Chris Ward, I think, probably a bit rattled from that bad start, and he's got to gather himself together.
Quite a moment.
There's a long way to go yet.
2 more Cobras snarling after them. Sean Lynn in 13 and Ludovic Caron in 12. They're going after the TBR at the back of that lead group. But at the end of the first lap, it was number 1, which was David Hart, from Michael Gans and Andrew Smith, all Cobra mounted. Ward in 4th place. Whitaker in the TBR was 5th. Caron and Glynn were the next 2 through.
Well, with the launch of the new TBR Griffith on Friday, it's quite fitting. There is a TBR Griffith right at the front end. It's in 5th place at the moment, but David Hart is stretching his lead out, and it must be said that Andrew Smith is all over the back of Andy Wolf, and now he's got the E-Type and the little TBR Griffith coming onto his tail, but making good his escape as the TBR puts the power down. In fact, we're riding on board with Whitaker, really trying to find the traction at Lavant. He doesn't want that E-Type of Ward to get any smaller ahead of him, because up front, David Hart is escaping in the number 1 Cobra.